Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce many different mediums to the Star Wars franchise that fans have never seen before on the big screen by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, to me, I really do believe that is the most exciting piece of Episode 9, is how JJ is really going to be introducing all of these different mediums of the franchise that we have never been introduced to in the Skywalker saga, things ranging from, of course, the netherworld of the Force, the Wills, and the list goes on. Now, on top of all of this, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this movie, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence based in the second act of the film, where it's explained that both Rey and Kylo Ren are holding hands, where it's explained that they are shrouded in darkness walking on a metallic bridge. It's explained that they are using a new Force power called flow walking, where they witness elements of the past films of the Skywalker saga. It's described that one of the sequences is said to involve a scene where Rey and Kylo Ren witness Luke Skywalker training with Yoda on Dagobah from Empire Strikes Back, that is followed by Luke losing his hand by Darth Vader on Bespin. The visuals of the visions of the past are described to have a blurred effect to it all, where the sound is planned to have an echo effect. The next describes a sequence in which Palpatine is seen getting thrown down the reactor by Darth Vader on board of the Death Star 2, where the explosion is seen followed by Luke witnessing Vader's death. It's described that this sequence will set up Palpatine's survival on the Death Star 2, and how he was able to live on in the film by J.J. Abrams. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, in case you guys did not know, Episode 9 is going to fully explain exactly how Palpatine was able to live on in The Rise of Skywalker. In fact, Daisy Ridley was the one that said that it's all explained over at D23. She said this: everything related to Palpatine, nothing is going to be a mystery. Everything will be explained in great detail in Episode 9, which is great. So, on top of all this, I want to go over the flow walking technique. Now, this is a technique that was done by the original version of Ben Solo, also known as Jason Solo, in Star Wars Legends, also known as the Expanded Universe. And it is somewhat time traveling, where you can see elements of the past, but you cannot change the course of history. Basically, you cannot change the future in any way, shape, or form. So, basically, Kylo Ren and Rey are using the flow walking technique to learn about the past in order to better themselves in the present. And to me, I think that's a very interesting side of Star Wars, that they are using elements and visions of the past to really learn more about what happened many years ago between Luke, Palpatine, Vader, you name it. Now, the thing about this is that yes, we do know that Force bonds are coming back in Episode 9, and that this flow walking technique is done while both Rey and Kylo Ren are in a Force bond session. Now, a lot of people had mixed reactions on the Force bonds, I myself included. I feel like it was just a little overdone in The Last Jedi. I feel like that maybe 2 max would have been probably the best way to go, instead of like 3 to 4 of them. So, when we look at The Last Jedi and how Force bonds were applied, mind you, J.J. Abrams did plant the seeds of Force bonds in the Force Awakens, he did. But, in, of course, The Last Jedi, it was pretty much, fully done by Rian Johnson, and now J.J. Abrams is taking it in a different direction in The Rise of Skywalker. So, everything ranging from these visions of The Empire Strikes Back, and of course Return of the Jedi, I think is a very interesting piece, and how it's all going to lead to the full explanation of how Palpatine was able to live on. They're going to show us, visually speaking, how Palpatine was literally able to live on. There's a lot of talk, and we've been talking about this for a very long time, about Palpatine's spirit and a younger version of Palpatine by use of the body of the Dark Acolyte. Now, on top of all of that, Episode 9 is aimed to be the darkest Star Wars film in history by Disney and Lucasfilm, and that they really are trying to take Star Wars in a different direction, using The Rise of Skywalker as a foundation to create new content for the future throughout the 2020s. And I think that's very ambitious of JJ and George Lucas. The fact that George Lucas is attached to all of this really, is making me more hopeful about the end of the Skywalker saga and exactly where things are really all going to go by the very end of episode 9. And I think that's one thing that a lot of fans are just on edge about, is to see exactly how it's really all going to end in comparison to how it all ended in Return of the Jedi. And that's everything related to episode 9. We do know that this movie is a very important film. It's the end of the Skywalker saga. 30 plus years. More than that, 40 plus years. And it really is a big deal, and they have to get this done right and correctly in order for it to truly resonate with fans around the world. So, with that being said, guys, I would love to hear what each and every one of you have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.